So hey there, Chadi Bazzi here, and welcome to another episode of the Top Listing Agent Show. And again, we're bringing another great guest, someone that we've had on the show previously, who made a huge contribution to the real estate world, our audience, in terms of design and getting your home market ready, etc. And because of her life experiences and who she is as a leader and who she is as a person of inspiration and a person of contribution, I couldn't think of a better person to bring back on the show to help you, with your mindset to overcome any adversity and thrive during a crisis. So I bring you Micah. Micah, tell the world who you are. Maybe some people didn't hear the last episode that we did and just how amazing you are and all that good stuff. So.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. Micah Abbananto. I'm the creator and owner of Get Your House Market Ready. I'm also a designer, absolutely blessed to get to do that. And, I think the reason you have me on today is because I'm an F5 survivor. That is not something a lot of people in this country can say, right? An F5 tornado literally went over my children and I. And during this time, I'm kind of pulling from that experience to help me in the current crisis that our country is in right now because of the coronavirus.
Yeah. So first of all, I just want to say something real quickly. I think your program, get your house market ready, is an amazing. So this is like a little plug for you, and because I have like some of my personal clients that actually tapped into that, and they're like, I got a listing as a result of it. I changed my home around, because of it and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to acknowledge you for the work that you do. It's something that anyone and everyone should definitely check out. But besides the little pitch that we just gave Micah right here. So Micah, you've been through a crisis before. Okay. So
yes.
you understand that when someone's going through any kind of crisis, whether it's the crisis that we're going through right now, or some people never have been through a crisis, and the moment that they begin to experience just the word crisis, they automatically are overtaken by the emotion of fear. I mean, did I get that right or no?
Absolutely. And I think when we are overcome with fear, we start to turn inward. And that is the most dangerous thing you can do during a crisis. When you start looking at yourself rather than looking at how you can help others, I think you start to spiral out of control and that fear can overtake you. So, the first point that I would really make is that when you are letting that fear kind of overcome you, you know that you're starting to look inward. And the best that you can make out of a difficult experience is to make it about someone else. And, to elaborate on what I mean, here I had literally lost my home in an F5 tornado, all of it. I experienced that with my children. We happened to live right across the street from the school, Plaza Towers Elementary, where the children were actually killed from the F5 tornado. It was just a really difficult experience. But I wanted to teach my kids that even when you go through something that's difficult and hard, you can still make it about others. And so we chose to go back to ground zero, if you will, help and serve and talk to people who were coming back to the place that caused them the most pain. And we chose to serve. And I think what I learned most about that experience is that when you're in pain, if you can make it about other people, the pain goes away a lot faster. It was just, and honestly, just a really beautiful experience. And I have seen so many realtors and business people trying to make the season about helping and serving. And I think it's been a beautiful thing to see.
Good. So the words that came out for me from what you're saying is, lead, serve, and make it about other people. Okay.
100%.
Right. And what I would say to that, Micah, is that does sound good and that does sound easy. However, I think most people right now, from my experience and having a ton of conversations with a lot of people, I think a lot of people are making it all about them, and for some people it's rightfully so. They don't know how they are going to feed their families, during this time if things don't shift in real estate, etc. So how does one take the focus off of them and make it about others?
Well, I'll be really honest with you. I had no home. I had no clothes. Uh, do you think we could work during that time?
Hmm.
No, I don't think there's any reason in your life, no matter how difficult the circumstances are, that you can't make a part of your day about someone else. And, I don't know if you know the acronym for joy, but it's Jesus, others, and then yourself. And I think we have to keep our priorities right. Yes, we have to keep our family safe. Yes, we have to make sure that we are providing for our families and feeding our families. But, there are many ways that you can stay safe and help other people. And I think there's no greater joy than when we put ourselves in the mindset that it isn't just about me. Uh,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
and I agree with you 100% because if we really analyze this, I mean, here's the thing. And if you did want to make it about you, what you really need to understand that in order for you to grow in spite of this, you're not going to be able to do it alone. So
Right.
by not making it about others, then others ain't gonna like make it about you, and you gotta give in order for you to receive. It's not about asking; it's about giving. And the more they used to say, "Ask and you shall receive." Now it's all about give and you shall receive. That's
Mm-hmm.
my model in my thinking. So what are some of the ways that agents, specifically real estate agents right now, what are some of the things that they should be doing to lead, serve, and make it about others?
Well, I think there's this hesitancy on a business level to give right now because people don't know if they should talk about their business or not. And I think that you can add a little bit in, but just in one of the groups that I'm in, a lady is sharing what she's doing to work out every day to stay healthy in that area of her life. Another lady was sharing recipes that she was cooking that were healthy. So there's ways that we can share with healthy responses that we're choosing to have in this situation and it not be about business. You can share words of affirmation. If you're a believer, you can share scripture. There's many ways in which you can share on a digital platform to bring positivity, to social media. I
Right.
think that that's a great way to give, to kind of get our minds off of our current circumstances. One lady, her and her husband started doing funny videos. I mean, make people laugh. I think that's a great way to give as well. So, be creative, be yourself. More importantly than anything, I think people don't uh, purchase products, or people don't purchase what you can do for them. I think they really want a realtor who they connect with, who they see being themselves. And so that's a great tool of social media right now, is to kind of let people see behind the curtain, see who you are, help them relate to the pain, but also just to the lighthearted, fun, beautiful aspects of life as well.
So I think right now is the time. I think you said it in different words, and part of what you're trying to say is that people aren't doing business with corporations; they're doing people business with people, and this is like the opportunity for people to really get to know who you really are. And
Right.
yeah, maybe you don't have the financial resources to share with others, but you can share your mind, you can share your heart, you can share
Mm-hmm.
your experience, you can share how you're dealing with a challenge, you can share how you're overcoming a challenge. Whether that be also, like you said, a recipe is a great thing. A movie that your family's watching together, a book that your family's reading together, a game that you guys are playing together, a thing that your community is doing, a
Mm-hmm.
resource to help people, with their financial needs and whatever. So I think right now, it is the time of sharing. Don't just
Mm-hmm.
wait till Christmas or a holiday to share. Because this is the time that we all need to come together and we need to share. And specifically for real estate agents, you need to be in contact with your past clients right now. You need to be in contact with your centers of influence right now. And yes, that conversation that you're going to have with them doesn't need to revolve around real estate. Look, I had somebody reach out to me yesterday, and she's like, "Hey, just wanted to let you know I'm thinking about you. You're probably homeschooling your kids right now. I have extra." No, seriously. She's like, I have extra eggs, extra milk, extra, games, extra toilet paper, whatever you need. This is the list of all the things that I have to share. Let me know, and I'll bend over backwards to get it delivered to you. I mean, just the thought of getting a
Wow.
message like that, and this is from a person that I haven't thought about in a long time. Truth be told. And I'm
I think
like,
that's the key word. You just said thought. And thoughtfulness goes so far. And I think we get so busy that we forget to be thoughtful. And right now, utilizing this downtime to be more thoughtful, just as a person, I think it's just a beautiful thing. What a beautiful experience for you to have and to glean from, and, really think about who could I reach out to that I could potentially really help. That goes so far. I mean,
Right.
so far, particularly when it's sincere.
Right. And here's the thing, some of the people that you're reaching out to don't necessarily need your help, but they just needed to know that someone really cared about them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, let's just be really honest. It is kind of scary. There are a lot of variables. There are a lot of unknowns. And I think that, if we watch the news or if we see too much going on social media, we can kind of get caught up in that. And really, what good does that do anyone? Why not make a detailed list of who you can encourage today? Who can you text? Who can you call? Who can you email? And just give something beautiful. I think it's so simple, and I don't know why we don't do it more, but we do have more time now to do that sort of thing.
Right. And I love what you just said right now, because I didn't even think about it, but that's exactly the message, like message number one, big message number one right now that I want everyone to turn into a homework assignment is I want you to make a list. Who do I need to connect with? Who do I need to call? Who do I need to email? Who do I need to, text? Who do I need to, whatever? Just make that list and just start reaching out to people. And it doesn't matter what it is that you're going to say in your text or your email or anything like that. This is an opportunity for you to connect. And I'm going to tell you guys this for our real estate audience. Without people, there is no transaction. Without a connection, there's no appointment. And it's not about setting an appointment right now. And it's not about selling a home right now. It's about creating the connection. Because if you create enough connections right now, when we get the green light to go back to work in, 3 days or 30 days or 3 months, whatever, you're going to have a lot more relationships than you have right now. You're going to have better relationships than you have right now. And this whole entire industry is all about the relationships. But I want to pause and backtrack a second right here. And I think more important than a relationship that you are having with people right now, it's about the relationship that you have with yourself. Because what's being revealed on the inside is who you really are, your core values. Some people discovered in the last 2 weeks that they are not equipped for a crisis. They're not equipped for a challenge. They're not equipped for survival. And these are the things that we need to take a look at, and we need to strengthen. And some of us discovered that who we really are is, we are leaders who never knew that we are leaders. And now we're given the opportunity to lead ourselves, to lead our families, and to lead our communities. So exercise number 2. So exercise number 1 was to make the list that Micah told us to make. Exercise number 2 is I want you to answer this question. And the question is, who do I need to become right now? Who do I need to become right now to be the man and or woman who leads my community to greatness? There's the word greatness back there.
Can I share a little bit? Yes.
Yeah.
So the F5 tornado, here I have the F5 go directly over us. I open up the storm shelter. It literally looked like a bomb went off. Everything was completely annihilated. I look at the school across the street. There are vehicles on top of the school. Kids are coming out hysterical. My own children are still underground in an outside tornado shelter. So we're not in a home even. And what comes out of me is something I did not expect. I ran to the school to help the kids. I became a first responder. I put myself in a heroic position of something I never thought I was capable of. And that crisis brought out a part of me that I never knew was there. When I was faced with adversity, I ran towards it. Now, I will also tell you that I experienced PTSD after that, really bad. And so I do want to say that crisis brings everything to the surface, good and bad. And you have to, while you want to grow and analyze the areas that you need to be strong in, you also need to celebrate the areas in which you are succeeding in. I think that, when I look back over who I was during that time, I am immensely proud that I chose to serve and help people in spite of me losing everything. But, I won't sugarcoat the fact that there was some inner turmoil. And I really did have to process through some of the difficulties that we faced. So, I think that there is that yin yang, that we need to address with crisis. There is that inner turmoil, and that's okay. Deal with that. And grow, because there's only two options. You either grow or you don't during this time. And we want to be people of growth, right? That's how you succeed. And that's the whole point in life, is to grow and get better. And so, but also celebrate. What are some things that you're doing well? And, I think it's important to look at that as well.
100%. And I think, you haven't gone, through this experience. There's something about going through the experience, and there's something about reflecting after you go through that experience, because while you're going through the experience, you might not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then once you overcome that experience and you reflect back on it, it really causes you to know who you really are, because you said, during the crisis, there were certain things within you that you didn't know you had in you until you were faced with that situation. So now,
Right.
looking back at that, what has that really taught you about who you really are? For you, for your family, and for the world.
I think that the heart to serve is far stronger than I realized. There was some false guilt about leaving my kids in the storm shelter and being about other people's kids for as long as I did, but I think we're far more resilient and we're far stronger than we realize. And I think sometimes, even as women, we're uncomfortable embracing that strength, because, I wonder if my husband was there at the time, would I have ran across the street and had the confidence just to go and help? I don't know. But at that moment in time, I was chosen, if you will, to be alone and to face that tragedy alone. There is strength there. When you survive something, I'm not a victim of an F5. I am a survivor. And, that's the two different mindsets you can have. And even as we're in the midst of a trial, you really can have two different perspectives about it. We can complain and stay in the fear and feel like we're being victimized by Trump's call or the governor or whatever else, or we can, have the mindset of being a survivor. How can I help myself, my family, and help others during this time? I think it's a great way to grow in digital resources. It's a great way to grow in the time that we now have with our family. We're all home a lot more, So I think it can really be a beautiful experience. I don't know about you, but we have gone walking in our neighborhood, and to see all the families out riding on the sidewalks, and people are putting teddy bears in their windows, and the way that the community has come together is something that we've been missing for a long time. And what's so interesting is we're around each other less, but it seems like we're connected more.
You're absolutely right. I saw a video of someone, right not too far from where we live. It's a family that I don't know personally. And it was their son's birthday yesterday. And obviously, because of social distancing, they had to cancel the birthday party. And I think the kid's probably about 6 or 7 years old. So, he's been looking forward to this day for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And what the neighbors did and what the community did is they all, got their families in cars, and his mom and dad brought him out, and they said, let's just go outside for a couple of minutes. And then one car would drive and wish him a happy birthday and wave. And then the second car, and then the third car, and the fourth car, and the fifth car. So if anything that's coming out of this is exactly what you said, it's bringing the community together. It's bringing the world together. And that is awesome. But you also talked about, digital resources. Anything specific you want to say about digital resources? Like, what are some of the digital resources that people should be tapping into right now, maybe learning for the first time and or using or whatever?
Well, I mean, that I guess that's where I could talk about get your house market ready. I think that, there has been this resistance with realtors to fully embrace a lot of digital content because it seems impersonal. And get your house market ready is a very personal, very available. I do a digital consultation, if you will, for clients where I walk them through room by room with videos, graphics, and lists. A great, almost 30-minute experience that is a tool that can help people get their house ready for the market without you having to be there in person. I also get to say the bad things like, pets don't exist. That's what I say. But, I think there's a lot of tools. You see virtual touring happening more than ever. And I think it's a great way to say, you know what? It still can be personal and use technology. And sometimes it can even be more personal because we're actually making the time to connect with people. I think there will be far less resistance to, bring more technology in. I feel like I'm having a great personal conversation with you, but we're doing it digitally,
Yeah, yeah. I feel like I've known you forever.
Exactly. So I think that, even for me right now on the design side of things, I'm big on House and Pinterest, and I'm using some of this downtime to get more photos up and to ask for a few reviews on House. And I think there's great ways even to potentially ask for reviews or, things like that. If you had a great experience with a past client, why not ask them to write up a quick review for you and you can plug that away? I think there's great ways to use this time right now with those digital resources.
I agree with you 100%. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. It just depends on your approach and how you request a review during this time. You can just say something along the line of like, there's a lot of people who are going to need my help when this is all said and done.
Oh,
And
it's good.
I know I've had a great experience with you, and if you don't mind, sharing that, in a review, whether it's video, text, or whatever, I would really appreciate it because I want to be able to help those people out when things are settled and we're ready to go back to work. So you're asking them to contribute to you so you can contribute to other people. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with
Yes.
that. And there's people that legitimately just didn't have the time to give you the review that you deserved, a month ago or whatever, because they were moving in or moving out and, transitioning with
Right.
work and all that good stuff. But now, guess what? Time is something that we all have, something that we asked for, and something that, we got blessed with. All right. So, Micah, is there a question that you feel like I should have asked you that I did not ask you?
Oh, okay. Well, maybe the one thing that I did learn, not necessarily about myself, but about people in general,
Yeah.
going through the F5
Good
tornado
question. I was
experience.
going to ask you that one, but good thing you brought it up.
uh, Overall, humanity is beautiful. I love people, and I think you can't be a really good realtor unless you do. The same with design, the same with being a stager. When you're dealing with people, you have to have a heart and you have to love people. And when you go through a crisis and you receive so much love, so much, I mean, I have a journal just full of things that people did for us when we went through that crisis. Really embrace when someone does reach out or try to give you the gift of care and compassion. Really pay attention to those stories because at the end of the day, people are beautiful and people are good and people are loving. And I think that we need to remember that. I think that so often with people, we can kind of get a bad attitude about people in general. You as realtors, y'all deal with the biggest purchase that they ever do. It can be very stressful. I get that. But you need to have a heart for people. And I think that that's super important. And if you do, that really comes out of you, and people will be more polarized to want to use you in the future.
100%. And Micah, if we were to break this down into like a step by step, anything like if I came to you and I said, hey, and you've shared a lot, but just in case, if we want to, like, put it together in terms of a list or something like that, if I came to you as someone that's already gone through a crisis and overcame a crisis, and I said, hey, Micah, what are the three things, or maybe four things, or maybe five things that I need to wrap my mind around right now so I can take care of myself, so I can take care of my family, and that so I can take care of my community. And just in 1 minute or less, I just want you to say, Chadi, here's what I want you to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever.
Okay, so
No
one.
order of importance.
Do I?
No order of importance, so it doesn't matter.
No order of importance. I think that not making this crisis about you and your business is number one, because you won't really experience the beauty of what you need to be taught if you make it solely about you. And that comes for your children too. Having a heart to serve really puts you in a different spirit to be more teachable in a moment of crisis. I do also think that paying attention to the positive aspects of what's going on will really help your mindset stay in a better place. Of course, we need to acknowledge the pain. We need to acknowledge that people are dying and that it's scary. But more than anything, we really need to pay attention to the beauty of it all. Like I said, there are some moments that we would not be having right now if it weren't for the fact that we were all being asked to stay home. And there are some beautiful things that we can be thankful for during this time. I think that, making sure that your mindset stays right, that doesn't happen by accident. You have to be intentional. You won't be positive. You won't have a happy disposition by accident. You have to feed yourself to stay positive. I personally do devotions and, read books, talk to people like you. Just even talking to you today has helped me, And while you are in a state of examining yourself and who you want to grow from, right, or how you want to grow from a situation like this, I think you also need to pat yourself on the back and really take the time to say, hey, I'm responding in some good ways here too. And I think that's important. And encourage your loved ones. It's stressful for everyone. There is almost like a spirit of oppression a little bit. It's all heavy on our minds. So why not speak life to people and make sure that you're acknowledging that they're doing well in spite of the circumstances that they're faced with.
Love it. Love it. Love it. That was... that's the game plan. That's the game plan, guys. It's, you're hearing it from someone that's already gone, through a crisis. And, for some people, they would think it's like a near death experience because, we all see the end, so quickly, and to just come out of it and be on the other side later on, I think it becomes also your responsibility to help people, see through whatever difficult times, they are, facing, whether it's through coronavirus or any other kind of virus or any other kind of dealing that we deal with in life. So, Micah, I just want to say thank you very much for anything and everything that you shared with us today, for just being fully transparent. And I know there's, someone that heard something that you said that might be the exact thing that they needed to hear in order for them, to get through this difficult time, in order for them to be able to become a better person for them and, their loved ones and their community. And I am forever grateful, for you, just stepping up and saying, hey, I want to help. So thank you very much. I so appreciate you. Any final words of wisdom, or how can people get a hold of you, learn more about you, enter your world and get help from you so you can help them sell more real estate?
Yeah, absolutely. You can reach me, on Facebook, Micah Abbananto. I'm at Get Your House Market Ready, and then my design page. And don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm very available, particularly if it is on the heart of things, or even just come on and with their team and help encourage. I do love to help people and to teach, and I think it's just super important that we stay available in that way.
Clearly. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And for everyone that's watching this video or listening to this podcast, just want to let you know that I am going to be doing a lot of trainings around how to recession proof your real estate business. And you can get all the information by simply going to realestatesuccessmastery.com. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Top Listing Agent Show.